title of
3 Reasons to be in Toastmasters.
3 Reasons to be in Toastmasters. With that, I introduce you to Dr. Jim.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're here. It's Thursday afternoon. You are participating in a Toastmasters meeting, but the question I have for you is why? So you have other things that you could be doing now. Time is precious to all of us, and yet you choose to spend an hour a week here. And the question is, why are you doing that? What do you think you're going to be getting out of this? And I would argue that when we join Toastmasters, we probably have some fairly clear goals, something that we want to achieve and stuff like that. But, you know, time does move on, right? And we can sort of forget that. Going to Toastmasters can be a little bit of a habit, right? You know, Thursday. New. I'll show up for Toastmasters. I'll do my stuff. I'll occasionally give a speech. I'll do evaluations and stuff like that. And you can sort of forget what your motivation was. Why did you start to do this in the first place? So today, I would like to take just a brief moment to remind you why you are in Toastmasters. So Toastmaster operates on a whole bunch of different levels, but obviously one of the levels that it operates on is it attempts to make us more comfortable in giving speeches in public settings. Fantastic. I would argue on an average day you probably don't give that many speeches in a public setting. So it seems like a good skill to have, but if you don't use it, then is there a great deal of value to it? And I would say yes, there is. And it really doesn't take an awful lot of thinking to figure out exactly when you will use the skills that you develop on Thursdays at noon to 1. And if you want to look through life and figure out one that's probably going to be showing up, hopefully later than sooner, and it would probably be eulogies. So bad news, kids. You're not getting any younger, okay? But that's okay, okay? Because you're living a good lifestyle, you're not doing stupid stuff, you're eating right, you're exercising. But, you know, we know people, don't we? We know actually as you get older, you know more people, right? So there's obviously family members, there's no question about that. There's people that we work with, there's people in our neighborhood, there's people in our social circles. They do stupid, risky, unfortunate things. You know, as we get older, those people are going to start dropping. Okay, let's just be honest about this, okay? I mean, just statistically, the more people you know, the more chances somebody's going to actually, you know, hit that at some point in time. And then you get invited to the funeral. Well, you don't want to go. Nobody really wants to say, hey, funeral? Well, certainly, I had nothing else planned. That'd be great. So you're at the funeral, or you're going to go to the funeral. And what is a funeral? Potentially it's the remains of the person that's there and a bunch of people gathering and stuff like that, but really it's an opportunity for people to talk about the person who has passed, okay? It's not going to do any good for the person who's dead, okay? Bad news, they're gone, okay? So really a eulogy is for the people who knew the person in an attempt to help them sort of through this time period so they can remember the good things that the person did and stuff like that. Toastmasters, it's a speech. Okay, and admittedly, it's a very special type of speech. You have a very, very special type of audience, and it's really not a speech that you'll ever repeat again, hopefully, right? Okay? But, you know, it is a great opportunity that if you felt something for this person who's passed on, for you to step up and share how you felt about them with the other people who are hopefully feeling sort of the same way. And giving a eulogy is not an easy thing to do. I mean, it's a speech, okay, but it's also a speech in a very, very emotionally charged environment. So if you can do it because you came here on Thursdays from 12 to 1, then hot diggity, your time here was well spent, right? Because you've helped a group of people through a sad and trying period with your ability to express publicly how you were feeling. So that's great. That is absolutely wonderful. But if it you know, we would be calling this the eulogy hour if it was really just that was the only reason that we were coming here, and we don't. So obviously there's got to be some other reasons why we come to Toastmasters. And I can give you one that you might not actually really necessarily think about, but it has to do with politics. Now you and I, assuming that we're not actually running for city council or mayor or something like that, sort of say, well, politics is, you know, something I read about in the paper or I watch on television or that's it. And you're right, generally it is. However, you live someplace. You live in a community. You have an apartment or a house or something like that. And somebody sometime will want to do something nearby where you live. I might be sending up my cattle slaughter and processing plant just next door to you. And how would you feel about that? Probably not so happy. Is there anything you can do about it? Of course not. I bought the land. I can do anything I want on the land. And the answer is no. I cannot do anything I want on the land. I have to get permission from the city to do something with that land. Pow. There's your opportunity. You have an opportunity when you get caring about a local political event to go address the city council, the city board, the planning commission, whatever it happens to be in your particular situation. But you'll have a very short period of time, 2 to 5 minutes, and there'll be like a line of other people who are smoking around the ears who want to say something also. But it's your opportunity to communicate something to the people who are going to make a decision about whether or not that cattle processing plant goes right in next to your kid's playground. Timmy, don't go to the edge, because things could get a little bit awkward if you do that. In my particular situation, it was actually very interesting. At the entrance to my neighborhood, they were thinking about building a gas station. We were like, I don't think that's really going to help the neighborhood very much. So I had an opportunity to go down to the Hillsborough Planning Council and give my little 2-minute speech. The only thing I can say is that in that particular speech, I did work a phrase that I was actually fairly proud of. I said, listen, guys, this proposal is to effectively build a liquor store that will sell gas. And that's not really what our neighborhood would like to have. I don't know if that worked or not, but they decided not to build it. So something went right there. And the final opportunity to use what you're developing here in this Toastmasters Club, and remember, there's many, but this is the last one I'm going to talk about today, is in what's called the Great American Teach-In, which is coming up, actually, I think in a few weeks. And so if you're not familiar with this, it's the little kids at school invite outsiders, parents and working people to come in and talk to the kids about their jobs, which actually, if you think about it, is pretty cool, because little kids go through school and they've got no idea why they're going to school, right? I'm going to go get a job. Great, what kind of job are you going to get? Astronaut. Dude, if you can do it, I'm right behind you, but I'm not so sure if that's actually going to work out for you and stuff like that, right? But it's an opportunity for you to go into the school and share with the children your work experience. And if nothing else, expand their world a little bit. It is giving a speech, and it's giving speech to a very small audience, okay? Who does not have to pay attention to you, okay? But if you do a good job, they will. And if you do a good job, this is the spooky part, you just might change a life. Who knows? So, we come to Toastmasters, we can get into a rut, just coming and stuff like that. We can lose sight of why we come to Toastmasters. So today I just wanted to take a brief moment and remind you, the skills that you develop here are skills that you can use anywhere, and you will use them. Mr. Toastmaster.
November 19th, Thursday.
Yep, there you go.